Oh, here comes Ugly Kid Joe. I mean, Dave.
Merry Christmas. You said you wanted a rubber nipple.
I got a rubber nipple.
Okay, that's for the center rubber cap style bearing, buddy.
Oh.
Replacement cap.
Apparently I need a replacement cap for a bearing, buddy. Well, we're getting ready to go hang an antenna up here tonight if all goes good, so. Turn the juice on. Here we go. Making up some transmission line here, putting a connector on it. Then we'll see if we can get something to happen.
Ain't that hot.
That is hot. Rotate. Get the coffee choke hacky over here. See if he makes it. Alright, here's a bow one. Well, RF choke if we want to get technical on it. Bunch of sawdust on it. The reason we're putting a choke on this is to get the RF off the transmission line. Silicone is still wet. Alright, nice and snug right there. Yes, we could get away just hooking the coax up to this without a choke, but you're going to get RF coming back down on your transmission line. Your transmission line is going to radiate. It's going to kind of act like an antenna. So this is basically segregating the antenna from the transmission line.
That's racist. You can't have segregation?
You can in RF.
Oh, okay. We're not talking people.
No, we're not talking people. And we don't use electrical tape to seal stuff up with. Not yet. It's got butyl rubber. You're gonna want probably about, oh, you ain't much.
I might be half dead, guys, but I'm still trying to add humor.
You're not funny.
As long as I don't get edited out, it'll be okay.
All right. The butyl rubber is really soft. It's not sticky per se, but it is sticky. That's what we're going to use to seal this up, because we don't want moisture, we don't want rain, don't want snow, nothing like that inside our connector. I'm going to mush it nice and neatly right up tight on our connector of the antenna. Get a couple wraps on it. Keep smooshing and mashing. Now, just start working our way down the line.
If it was a bit warmer, it'd be a bit stickier.
Yeah, it's still pretty sticky. We don't have to go a long ways down the line, just get down on the jacket here. About like so. Just work it good, mush it together. And that's what's going to create the seal. And in a minute, we'll put the tape to it. Okay. So now this is just regular old electrical tape. What this is going to do is create like a UV light barrier, and it will help shed water, keep stuff off the butyl. But it is not really the sealant. It'll help. We're not going to use just tape without having the butyl first. I'm getting a half-width overlap every time I roll this thing around. Get it nice and snug.
He said snug.
Snug. Well, the kid hasn't come looking for burger seasoning yet.
Do you really think she will?
No.
You got a better chance of that connector asking for burger seasoning.
I want some burger seasoning. I'm an antenna connector. We're almost done here on this pass. I'm going to take that all the way to the top. Wrap it up in there nice and tight. Now, we do not yank this to terminate it. Use a pair of scissors, use a knife, something sharp.
But my daddy said...
My daddy used to just rip it. Well, it depends on the application. For this, you don't want to do that. Okay. So there's one pass. That'll work. I'm a little fussy, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a opposite reverse pass. So I went that way. This time I'm going to go this way. So what that does is it gives me a reverse overlay of these. Okay, so we've got the RF choke, homemade. We can get into that later as to how I made that.
RF choke?
Now we got the antenna. So now we gotta go see if we can get this mess up in a tree.
I better go grab that big wrench. We're gonna need it for the two ends, ain't we?
Eventually.
We need to get that on video.
Yeah. I wung a 1 5/16" wrench, but we hang long on the end of a piece of string, lobster head and twine. I'm using lobster stuff to build the antennas. Can you tell? I wung that thing up through a tree, and yeah, we got it.
We're fresh out of slingshots and bows and arrows.
Yep. Okay, we're at the tree.
I see we got the rope.
This twine doesn't look like much. It's pretty tough stuff. What you put in the lobster trap to hold the heads in with. So it's made for marine environment.
Yeah. You use rope to hold the head of the lobster in?
Yes, so it doesn't get away.
Oh, cool. Wonder how them traps work. I don't know if it was like a bear trap or something.
You dive down in there and you catch them by hand, and then you stuff them in the lobster trap.
Oh, okay.
Then you go back the next day with a boat and haul them.
Oh, see, I thought you went down there and, and they just walked along and stepped into the trap. It's like a bear trap, catches them by the tip of the tail, maybe by the big claw.
If they have a big claw, they might not.
Well, I figured if they don't have a big claw, that's because they got away.
You never know. I think I got a knife in my pocket. I do. That would make life easier.
Until you take your finger off.
I'm not you.
But remember though, I'm not a lobsterman. I know nothing about it.
They're all in poverty.
Yeah, right. Just like politicians.
Exactly. They're all in poverty.
What do you need me to do?
Take a wire and get it out of the way somewhere.
Here's a wire, take a walk.
Going that way.
You gotta tighten that knot, don't you?
Nope, I coiled it around my arm and I taped it and it just kind of did the swinky thing. So it should pretty well uncoil itself.
I've heard that before.
Should.
I don't know how many spider webs I've made on myself that way.
So Dave is running that way with the driven element, which connects to the center of the coax.
Does it have a driver's license?
No, it's a sovereign citizen.
Oh.
It makes its own laws, you know.
It's like politicians.
Yes.
We make them, you follow them.
Alright, and I've got the ground element with a counterpoise element. I'm going to start going out this way a little bit with it. Alright, well Dave's taking over running that counterpoise wire. He sounds so sad, doesn't he?
Ain't it cunning?
Ain't you cunning?
Feel about as strong as a kitten and about as loud as one.
Alright. So here is the coax running to the camp. And I've got a female to female union right here. Now I can seal all this up just like I did on the antenna side. Okay, we got her rigged up here. This is just temporary to get by with for a while till such time we can fiddle around and put some towers in the air. This will work. We're amateur radio operators. We ain't pros, but we can often make stuff work better than some of the pros. And that's a different story. So anyway, got her rigged up. Using this twine to support the what they call the ugly ballon, the RF choke. So the coax here isn't doing it. Dave said I should have put a pulley 25 feet up that tree, but I can't get there from here. And here's the coax all sealed up. You're going the wrong way. It's supposed to go that way. There's the coax all sealed up. Just a minute, he's going to take out the camera tripod.
No, I'm stopping there.
Well, this is going to be fun. Here we go. We're going up a tree.
We're going on a tree hunt. We need to grab it up in here somewhere.
Many people take the yard a little dipole tree.
Try to keep it out of that. You're going to need to back up. Go towards the smoker with that one.
I'm trying to go this way and get you out of the way.
Brenda, go with him. That way.
There you go. Now you're up out of the limb. There you go. How about that? give you a hard pull, Dave?
It's a hard pull. Are you holding it, Miranda?
Yeah.
No, don't pull string. No, just let it go. Let it go up. Let it go up.
Oh, that's much better.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
How's that look, Dave?
That looks pretty good to me.
All right. Come back in here and tie her off somewhere. Now we got a piece of PVC pipe hung in a tree. Hey, Dave.
Hey, what?
What did one coffin say to the other coffin?
I don't know.
Was that you coughing?
Just out at school.
Dave says I ripped that joke off from somebody. And I did. That belongs to Roscoe P. Coltrane. For you folks who were lucky enough and are lucky enough to know who Roscoe P. Coltrane was.
Sit here, Junior.
Now I gotta throw a wrench up a tree.
Just throw a wrench in the plans?
Yeah. Geez, you're so sick you can't even hold on to a roll of twine.
Oh, that's gonna hold on to my nuts. I'm gonna stand back so you know the camera can get the form of this.
Oh yeah, if I get it low enough to get us down here.
Of a professional wrench chucker.
Wrench chucker. You can stand on my left, so I'm right-handed. I don't wing and...
Oh, I gotta stand on your left.
Yeah. You struggling?
I'm missing a stick.
A stick?
You got enough or you need more?
Oh, I'll take a little more here.
You're going for the top one on the right, right?
I'm going for whatever I can get. So we'll throw this one up there just so I can hit it on target.
Okay.
Get a little smaller wrench this time. I got a 15/16. What do you want, kiddo?
Nothing.
Nothing?
It still says 1 and 5/16.
You get a fire over there?
Sort of.
Sort of. You trying to light one piece on fire?
Yes.
Now when I wrench through a tree.
Then
even better than I was
down a
expecting.
squirrel.
I'm the pro. I'm the professional wrench chucker.
And that's why you use a big heavy wrench.
Yeah. So it doesn't go up there and get stuck.
Try doing that with a 10 millimeter.
If you can find a 10mm. I got a proper knife this time.
You don't like the Bic version?
Oh, Bic works. Hey, you're on the ground. You're good.
Yeah. I would just make sure we got enough to tie it all in.
All right. I guess you do got it snagged up. There we go.
Are you tied up?
Yank it away. We don't want to get too tight, so we let the trees move and do their thing. So we've got some slack in the wire, so when the trees wiggle around the wind, it's not going to be ripping the snot out of the antenna. Do the same thing on the other end. Pretty soon, Bill.
Maple on that end, though.
Oh, we'll find something. Pretty soon, be able to put some RF juice to this sucker. And throw the analyzer on it, see where it's resonating at, just out of curiosity. Gonna run it through the tuner, so the tuner will take care of all of that. But I think it's gonna hit somewhere right around 3910, 3900. Well, we got her hanging up there. You can see that element running that way. This one running this way. I got a few limbs in there that are a bit of a nuisance. So we have to bring the pole saw up here and we'll get them out of the way another day. But the antenna should still work fine. Coax is just dropping it down the tree, and I can get some of that string tied to the tree and then tied to the coax as a little bit of a strain relief. Alright, here's the coax on this side of the camp. And the future plan is going to be mounting a grounding bus in a weather-tight box over here. So the coax will come up into here, go to lightning protection, and then go up inside. But we don't have that yet, so for now all we can do is just run it inside. Do we need to extend the ladder? While I'm right here?
Like them ambulances, we'd order them damn things. They'd come with an RG58 pre-wire. They'd send you the connector, but they wouldn't include the adapter or the bushing for RG58.
Sensible. How's that working for you, Mr. No Fingernails?
We're getting there.
We're gaining.
Yep. Yes, you do unfortunately lose some braid.
Oh, you're gonna lose a piece or two anyway.
Mainly making sure nothing is...
Yeah, don't need any shorts.
Come here, color.
Yeah, these crimp connectors, not a fan of crimps, but you know what? They'll get you out of a mess. Yeah, now we gotta trim that center off and solder right in there.
From what come off this side of the roof.
Mm-hmm.
But look how much of that roof is done.
I know, I saw it. It's pretty.
Soldering up good?
To get heat going. There you go.
I didn't hear him complain, so it must have worked.
Yeah, so some moron,
Not named Dave,
not named Dave.
for once.
When I get coax, I get coax. I don't go by 50 feet. So I got a 500-foot spool of it. And I run LMR 400. My repeater is different. That's a different story. But running on VHF, HF, non-duplex stuff, I run LMR 400. It's a good transmission line. It's not too badly priced. It's got good shielding on it. Well, some moron didn't pay attention when he ordered it. And I got LMR 400 LW, lightweight. So it got here a couple weeks ago, and I'm just knocking some solder off this center pin. And we put up Dave's dipole antenna. Went to put on antenna connectors, solder-ons. I run solder-ons on everything, which are silver plated. And the braid, the shield of the coax, the solder would not adhere to it. So I smoked through a couple connectors, couldn't figure out what was going on. So I peeled a piece of the braid out, just tried soldering right straight on the braid, rolled right off. Okay, what's up with this coax? So I got looking at the coax and saw the LW on it. Lightweight, they call it. Like, all right, why is it not just LMR 400? Why does it say LMR 400 LW? So I looked up the properties of it. It's a friggin' aluminum shield, not tinned copper. Well, that explains it. So you can't solder onto aluminum.
But it's lightweight.
But it's lighter weight. Whoopity-doo. So the solution is either trying to return 500 feet of coax, which, you know, I've already cut off a bunch of it, so they're not going to take it back. So that was not the option. Or you got to get connectors that you can use on it. So we got online and we got some half solder. You solder the center pin and then you can crimp on the rest. So the braid is crimped. We don't have to worry about capillary action here. So that's what we wound up doing. So we've got about another, what, 400 feet of LMR 400 LW. And we got a bunch of these connectors because it'll work on the regular LMR and RG8 also. So here we are. Well, yeah, we've got her hanging up in the tree. Got to do a little more limbing on a couple of these other trees. That's all right. Well, let's see what we've got. All right, let's take a look at this antenna through the analyzer and see what we got going on. Freaking mosquito. Looking great. So when I built this, if you remember in that video, if you watched that video, I cut it a little bit long, figuring it should hit resonance somewhere around 3.9 megahertz, 3,900 kilohertz, give or take. So let's see what we have. So I'm in 75 meters right now. Down at 3.7 megahertz, we've got 2.8 on the SWR. Creeping up. SWR is dropping. So at 3.8 megahertz, we're at 1.5. That's really, really good. .9 megahertz, about where I thought it'd be good on resonance. We're at 1.5. That's good. Pushing up the band. And we get up. Got about 1.9 up at 3940. So, yeah, she's looking pretty good. Of course, a couple of the elements are still hung in tree limbs at the moment. So, everything is tolerable. As far as other bands, looking at other bands, it's going to be all wonky. That's what the tuner is going to do.
Phone in the Jeep, but that's more for GPS facing back at me. And I have not had a dash cam, and haven't found the need to have one yet, but who knows with all roads. I've never seen anything like it. People in a left-hand lane, and in a left-hand turn lane. Oh, I want to go right, and they got to cross their lane, 2 lanes of traffic, the turning lane, just cut everyone off and drive off like, well, I have to go this way. But I'm getting there, and I'm getting the wood pile down to the point where I can cover it up with the tarp if we get some rain. So that's good. This afternoon, Sue and I walked, Sue.
Just got a new 75-meter dipole hung up this evening, and got it all connected and rigged up, so you guys are the maiden voyage on it. See how it's working. And SWR is good. Just a little bit above resonance here on 932. It's working perfectly down around 3900 for resonance. And so hopefully the signals are good. It's receiving everybody pretty well here up in northern Maine. So 15 to 20 over, no problem. And a few static crashes, but not too bad. So as far as dash cameras go, no, do not have one. And yeah, the station who had mentioned they go both ways is absolutely correct. And you know, whether or not you voluntarily provide that information or not, doesn't matter. You know, you could be made to give up that information. So, and if you think, well, I'll just delete it, then it can be a criminal charge of destroying evidence if it's known as evidence on there. So, you know, there's a lot of things to consider. But yeah, you know, they are handy because you can catch a lot of stupid people doing stupid things. So, like with anything, it's a catch-22. But with that, back to net. Well, yeah, that's the Northeast Cracker Barrel net. Got some guys in there from Mass, Maine, New York, I'm not sure where else, but got real good signals pounding in here, 15 to 20 over. And, you know, it's receiving good. And, had a good report. You know, I told them, just got that antenna up and running, seeing how it's doing. They were the maiden voyage, and the guy said, you know, wherever he was, it was sounding great down there, so says it's working great. So it's amazing what you can do with a piece of wire. This fella is running 20 watts from Connecticut.
Hey, Roger. Hey, great to hear you. Hey, ride along as long as you can here.
This is Net Control, Central New Jersey.
Welcome in up in your area there, just north of you there. So if you have nothing better to do, ride along. If you hear something, just throw your call out there, and we'll give you the frequency. Alrighty, sir. It's a pleasure having you on board there. K1RX, Mark, good evening, sir. Welcome to the Friendly Bunch.
Yeah, good evening. And what is your call? I haven't caught that yet.
My call is Kilo 2, Mike Foxtrot Sierra. The name is Mike. I'm down here on the Jersey Shore.
There's a video just a little bit down the playlist when I showed you how I built this antenna, and you can see how I built it just out of wire and a few parts and pieces for insulators and stuff. It's nothing special. And it works. So yeah, good reports on it tonight. Sounding great on this end, sounding great to people on the other end. Reaching down into central Jersey. Didn't really try too hard to get anywhere else, but yep, people on the Cracker Barrel had good reports. Getting tired, it's getting late. So we know it's a good antenna. We know it works. If you get any questions or anything, shoot us a comment. We can do the best we can to help you out. Catch you on the flip side.